In the annals of Acadian history, the name Adolphe Robicheau stands as a beacon of cultural preservation and artistic mastery. Born in Clare, Nova Scotia in 1906, Robicheau's multifaceted legacy spans the realms of ballet, artistry, activism, and philanthropy. Central to his narrative is the renowned ballet school nestled in Boston's Beacon Hill, a haven where aspiring dancers honed their craft under his tutelage for over 4 decades. Beyond the realm of dance, Robicheau's unwavering advocacy for the arts, diversity, and Acadian heritage echoed through his actions, leaving an enduring imprint on the cultural landscape. Upon his passing in 1978, Robicheau left behind not just a legacy of dance, but also a profound commitment to preserving built heritage. Through his meticulous efforts, he breathed new life into historic structures, ensuring their continued existence as testament to bygone eras. From the charming stone carriage house in York Cliffs to the grandeur of the Appleton Mansion on Boston's Beacon Hill, a bespoke castle overlooking Martha's Vineyard, and even a museum in Nova Scotia, each project speaks volumes about Robicheau's reverence for history and his dedication to safeguarding architectural treasures. Join us as we embark on a journey to explore the 5 iconic conservations undertaken by Adolphe Robicheau. York Cliffs, Maine. Nestled along the picturesque shores of York Cliffs lies a hidden gem of architectural splendor, the Manor, Normandy. And so begins the story behind Adolphe Robicheau's first major conservation project. In June 1939, Adolphe Robicheau embarked on a journey of conservation when he acquired Alton Eldridge's stone carriage house, situated at 130 Shore Road. This quaint structure held within its walls a bygone era. As reported by the Old York Transcript, Robicheau's vision for the property was clear: to transform the stone garage into a home worthy of its idyllic surroundings. With meticulous attention to detail, Robicheau embarked on the ambitious task. His vision transformed the structure into the Manor, Normandy, complete with 2 castle-style turrets, evoking the ambience of an early French provincial manor, and each a testament to his artistic flair. The Manor, Normandy soon became more than just a residence. As a summer school for the Robicheau Academy, it blossomed into a hub of creativity and culture. Robicheau, along with his friend Arthur and a troupe of dancers, became integral members of the vibrant Algonquin art community. The large home was sold to Felix Hughes in June of 1947. Today, it is affectionately known as the Normandy Cottage, a testament to Robicheau's enduring legacy. Quissett, Cape Cod. Adolphe Robicheau's creative endeavors extended to Quissett, Cape Cod, where he undertook the construction of a replica 13th-century Norman manor. Located at 33 Fells Road, near what is now the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, the property boasted a picturesque setting overlooking Martha's Vineyard. Articles from the Falmouth Enterprise document Robicheau's purchase and subsequent construction permits obtained in 1949. His castle would be built and furnished, in large part, from lumber and materials shipped by steamboat from the continent. By 1953, a bespoke, small castle adorned the property. The parcel is described as over 2 acres of wooded glen at the edge of Oyster Pond, often frequented by snapping turtles who lumber up the lawn to lay their eggs. One year it was noted that 7 turtles had made the pilgrimage, and the lawn needed reseeding several times a year. The house is described as unusual, a small French chateau, being a copy of a 13th-century Norman house, featuring leaded glass windows and extensive use of paneled walls. The castle had 7 rooms, a 2-story living room with vaulted ceiling. It featured a large fireplace, decorated in fleur-de-lis tile. Mullioned picture windows overlooked the water. It had a wood-paneled library, a story-and-a-half master bedroom with stained glass windows, and a spiral staircase which gave entry to 3 bedrooms and a bath. There was also a full dining room, glass conservatory, and screened terrace. An ornately tiled ceramic bathroom is on the first floor. A private study in the turret was accessible from a hidden staircase. Adolphe Robicheau sold his castle in 1965. Regrettably, the castle on Oyster Pond did not withstand the tide of development and was demolished in July of 2006 to make way for a large modern home. 54 Beacon Hill, Boston. The Appleton Mansion was the childhood home of Fanny Appleton, the very same who would become the wife of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The building is vividly described in Longfellow's memoirs, including interior details. Adolphe would almost certainly have consulted these in his renovation process. The principal architect of the house was the great American architect Charles Bulfinch. Robicheau quickly realized the house's potential as a residence for himself and to serve as a home for his ballet school. When his financial resources were not enough to cover the down payment, his lifelong friend, Arthur Vaillancourt, a dental technician and student in the Spanish dance class, was quick to sell his car to make up the difference. The papers passed in the last days of 1943, turning the property over to the 2 gentlemen and ending its association since 1808 with the Appleton family. The once elegant mansion was full of pigeons and in very poor condition. The restoration work proceeded slowly and with meticulous care. Mr. Robicheau personally handled much of the work. He hired an artist to paint and match the sections where the wallpaper and paneling had been damaged. An elevator was installed to facilitate the rental of the 3rd and 4th floor apartments. Period furniture was acquired for every room on the 2nd floor, which Robicheau and Vaillancourt chose to live in. His willingness to do the repairs and touch-ups himself often made the coveted affordable. One very special project undertaken in his apartment was the conservation of the Stanford White-designed Gold Empire parlor overlooking Beacon Street. The basement was the heart and home of Robicheau Academy. In its low-ceilinged and pretentious perimeter, ballet steps were practiced, friendships were formed, and some of the best dancers learned their craft. After Arthur's death in 1981, Mr. Irving Colburn purchased the building for his wife Frances, who was a descendant of the ambitious Federal-era merchant who had commissioned the building. Still stands the Appleton Mansion, but gone are the Acadian footsteps that, from within it once leapt like the roe. La Vieille Maison. In Nova Scotia, La Vieille Maison stands as a testament to Adolphe Robicheau's unwavering commitment to his Acadian heritage. Despite residing in Boston, Robicheau remained deeply entrenched in Nova Scotia's Acadian community, actively participating in cultural events and initiatives. The genesis of La Vieille Maison traces back to the 1950s, when discussions at the historic Acadian Convention highlighted the need for a dedicated museum. By 1955, a committee that emerged from the 1921 Acadian Convention had come to the conclusion that if Grand Pré could be a solvent enterprise, why not take it up a notch with a historical society, which would operate a museum of antiquities? A first attempt was made in 1956. A meeting was held to launch the project, but the society, it seems, did not last long. Undeterred by this failure, Adolphe took it upon himself to create such a museum. It would be his own philanthropy and legacy to his hometown. In 1957, he was able to purchase the land that once belonged to his great-grandfather, Bonaventure Robicheau. The house had long been demolished, and all that remained were the stone cellar walls. In 1958, He located a house about 15 kilometers northeast of Maine, which looked like the original Bonaventure homestead. It was abandoned and rapidly falling into disrepair. This house was carefully dismantled in sections, first the chimney, then the interior walls, and the roof, each section carefully transported by truck. At Maine, it looked like a puzzle, and reassembling it was just as complicated. Wooden pegs were mortised, and hand-forged nails were used. Birch bark was used for insulation. The windows were glazed with hand-blown spun glass. The floors were painted in yellow paint, simulating early finish of clay deposits mixed with egg yolks. The doors were decorated in a blue hue concocted from onion peels and ashes. The interior was clad in rough sawn boards, and the interior ceilings were covered with the widest boards available. Their width was considered a bragging point. Interviewed by Adolphe Robicheau in August 1964, Robicheau explained that he was inspired by the production of a large pageant in the area.
I was moved by a historical spell. That's when I decided to create La Vieille Maison.
Robicheau Manor, Provincetown. Perched along the picturesque shores of Provincetown, the house at 69 Commercial Street stands as a testament to Adolphe Robicheau's boundless creativity. This historic waterfront house was built in 1860 and owned by William Quissett through the early 20th century. Adeline and Émile Souda acquired it in 1942 and sold it to Robicheau in 1962. Neglected and abandoned, the grand beach home awaited Robicheau's visionary touch, which would transform it into a surrealist expression of Catholic piety. Over 3 years of painstaking restoration, Robicheau meticulously adorned the manor with whimsical decorations that mirrored his personality. Drawing on his talents as a set painter for the Boston Pops, he infused the house with bizarre dramatic flair. Crafting a private chapel on the third floor, he installed a pipe organ and an altar and Stations of the Cross, complete with prie-dieu and church pews. The entire house was ornamented with stained glass windows, gargoyles, and even martyrs with their eyes gouged out, creating a whimsical atmosphere of medieval paganism crossed with Catholic piety. The art collection that adorned the walls, hailed as one of the finest in North America, included priceless pieces from France, Spain, and Italy. In 1965, Robicheau Manor opened its doors as a summer school for the Robicheau Academy, welcoming students to immerse themselves in ballet and artistic expression. As the years passed, Robicheau's legacy has endured, intertwined with the evolving narratives of Provincetown. Artist Alice Brock purchased the home in 1983, preserving its stained glass windows, amidst a transformation that would see it become the Alice Brock Studio, which was itself for decades a beacon of artistic inspiration. As we conclude our journey through the historic conservations of Adolphe Robicheau, we are reminded of the enduring legacy of a man whose passion for preservation transcended time and place. From Cape Cod and to the quaint shores of York Cliffs, the vibrant streets of Beacon Hill, and the serene landscapes of Nova Scotia, Robicheau's vision breathed new life into architectural gems, transforming them into cherished landmarks that continue to captivate and inspire. His spirit lives on in the stories woven into each brick and beam, reminding us of the power of preservation and the enduring importance of embracing our heritage. May the tales of Robicheau's conservations continue to inspire generations to come, guiding us toward a future where history is cherished, diversity celebrated, and the arts flourish in all their forms.